Thank you, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Um, Firstly, I want to say thank you to the organizers of this event for this opportunity. I hope I'm very audible. Yeah, it's an opportunity that I don't take for granted. So thank you. And when I see anywhere people are coming together to do things to empower other people, whether in form of sharing knowledge or whatever, it's encouraging. I like to be part of things like that. Um, so this session, I would try as much as possible to make it very. Um, I want us to be interacting. You know, I don't know if it's possible to get like an extra mic. So just in case, I don't like it when it's one person stands here talking and then everybody stays silent till the end. I think it is. You all agree it is better when it's interacting, right? So the goal at the end of this day is for us to leave here with, tangible informations that would help us in our real estate journey. Just to get a feel of the space, I want to, just to be sure of the category of people in terms of your level or where you play in the real estate field. If you are an intending like realtor, you've not started, probably this is your first you know, your first thing you're doing as regards real estate, let me see your hands up. Okay, that's like maybe 20%. So if you've done, let's say 1 to 3 years in this space, let me see your hands up. Okay, so maybe another 30% or 40%. 3 to 5 years. Okay, it's like 10%. Okay, and then the other people, what category do you, because I know some people did not raise up their hand. I'm looking at somebody. Okay, no problem. But also, I want to assume that everybody here is either trying to get into or have started doing something in the brokerage sector. That's you being a realtor and not maybe development or any other thing, right? Do you have developers in the house? No, so good. So let's start. She gave a brief introduction about me. My name is Anthony, like she mentioned. I run a brokerage and a development company called Reverie. That's where you have the group, somewhere there. So I was given the topic lead generation, follow-up, and closing deals. I learned you've had other amazing speakers. I saw Mr. Tade Cash, and I know great speakers are also coming after, but this is the part that I'll be taking. And I think for every realtor, this is probably the most important part that puts money in your pocket. If you agree with me, these three things up there, you can play with every other thing, but if you can consistently generate leads, do the follow-up when you ought to do them, and close deals, you will make money. So let's pay rapt attention as we delve right in. Sorry, who has the control? Just can you help me go to the next slide? So sometimes people get caught up with, some people think too little of real estate sometimes. I've seen it happen so many times, even with all the trends and all the things that I've been seeing online lately. The fact is, real estate is big. I read petroleum engineering in school and came out with a good grade, but don't ask me what it is. But when I was going to make the pivot, I wanted a career path that I can see examples of people who are doing amazing things, not just in terms of finance, people who are actually dictating the way we live. Because trust me, it's developers that are dictating what the size of your street looks like, what's it called? Where you get to sleep, how you get to, bathe, how the proximity of your house to your kids' school and all of that. So it is something very, very significant, and real estate was that for me. Like, it had everything, in that. So some reasons why, if you're here, you should give yourself a round of applause, because real estate won last year. Great. Give yourself a round of applause if you're trying to do real estate, because it's amazing. So last year, third largest contributor to Nigeria's GDP. I think it's about 5 point something. And it even knocked off oil and gas. I think oil and gas went to fifth. I think telecoms was like fourth. Then agric was first, trade was second, meaning we're doing something amazing in this space. And they keep telling us housing deficit, millions and millions of houses. That means there's still a lot to be done. You're going to sell house if you want to do this till you old and gray. If you want to build, they want us to build about 700,000 houses per year. You know how many people we don't even do up to 10% of that in a year in this country. So the opportunity is vast. Another reason, there's a projection of real estate reaching about 3.41, market cap by 2029. You have unlimited income potential. That's the part that I like. There's no cap. There's no the maximum salary you can make in some space. You can tell what your career paths can give you throughout. Like you can do the calculation, factoring inflation. You can tell from extrapolating old data to know what exactly is possible in a space. But with real estate, there's really no cap. Like just keep going. That's it. And then, like I said earlier, it's a space that actually influences the way we live. Making it a very tangible, making it a very important sector that has tangible impact, in the way we live our lives. Then this last one, I don't like it, but it's a fact. So it has a low barrier to entry, and I really wish they can do better. Maybe the day here is the government can do better in deciding, who comes into the space. Not gatekeeping or whatever, but we know that there are some bad actors that leverage on the fact that, you have almost zero to no barriers to come in every sector, whether it's development, people come in, build stupid houses that put people in trouble. People build houses that collapse because they're cutting corners. Even when it comes to the brokerage space, you see people doing, pretty much shady things. Because trust me, this our space is known to have the least. It has a trust deficit. That's the word. They don't trust us, so hope you know. So every time you step out or you're trying to do business, bear that in mind. Ladies, people don't trust you, marketer, liar, this one, that one. You've been seeing the backlash you've been getting online now. Someone will say, realtors are thieves. I've not been seeing it. Realtors are thieves. You people, it's a movement, it's a train, what have they been saying, So it's crazy, but let's keep it going. So the next slide, please. So let's get down to the business of the day, lead generation. You would agree with me that if at any point in time in your course of doing the real estate business, you cannot generate leads. You cannot get people to ask you, oh, I'm interested, because it's from having a funnel of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It trickles down to like maybe 2, 3 serious persons, and then you finally close 1 or 2. But the very minute you cannot consistently generate lead, you probably start to look for something else to do because you are minutes away from, leaving the business. So there was a quote I wrote there, which is going to be like a summary of this particular topic. Great real estate professionals don't chase lead. They build magnet. So the normal school of thought out there is to, let's go and look for where we would get clients. Oh, let's pick flyers, let's go somewhere. Oh, let's post that video so that they will see us. Let's go. You sometimes just see yourself running in circles. Where there are amazing strategies where instead of chasing after these people, you position yourself in a way that they come to you. Trust me, they come to you because, like I said, this business has an insane trust deficit. So you want to put yourself in a position where people are coming to you instead of you going to them. You get? So let's go to the next slide. Let's continue. Before I start telling you, this is one or two places where you can get a lead and stuff like that. Let's start from the core of everything. The psychology behind high quality lead. Okay. There was a video I posted. I'm big on social media. Like, not saying I have large following, but like I like marketing with social media, you know. There was a video we posted recently. That was the last video on my page, probably some last week or so. And one thing I learned from that video, and it has happened over and over and over again, anytime that I want to generate lead personally, I know what I simply need to do. Create a very high quality content as regards property tours, and then just leave it there. I went on my comment session this morning, probably over 100 plus, and I was saying, I don't have money, but this person wants me to buy property. Like, I saw big celebrities saying, oh, I need one, straight to the DM. I saw people saying, oh, and this is a property that's probably 180, 200 million. There are two types of property. So there's something we consistently do, you know, that helps us every single time to, when we put out a video or something, that gives us maybe up to 20 people asking to buy. Then now we now have a pool of so many people that we can then trickle down at the end of the day. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. That we can then trickle down at the end of the day. You get, so instead of consistently trying to look for, oh, leads, where can I find them? We've done this thing where we created an avatar of our ideal clients. So we've asked ourselves the questions. Let's say we're going to a property of like 1 billion, or we're going to a property of like 80 million. There are two different types of people that buy those properties, if you agree with me. So every time we want to market every properties like that, we ask ourselves, what is the ideal client for this property like? And then every marketing material that will be created for that particular product will be tailored to suit that person's, you know, need. This said property on the page was, I think, 180, 200. Personally, I think with the crypto money in Lagos and everything, I think, you know, maybe a 27 to, let's say, a 50, 55. Okay, go ahead.
Using this, we want to take it down. It's blocking people.
No, take it down. I'm young, I can stand. Take it down. So, we, you know, described the kind of people that we think can afford that property. 180, 200 million, right? A two-bedroom apartment. I think the two-bedroom is 180, the three-bedroom is 380. Now, each demographic, we're looking at maybe with, like I said, TikTok money, crypto money. Let's put it, let's say 27 is too much. TikTok money is big these days. So let's say 22 till, let's say 55, 60, you know, can afford this type of property. And then the next question will be, if what would the intended buyer for this property maybe be looking to use the property for? It's an apartment in Ikate. Most people who buy apartments in Ikate is just straight up short let. You know, nobody wants to rent because I think it is you make more money doing rentals, especially when it's in a very good environment, than renting. So most people want to. That's usually not the home they want to live in. They probably just want to own it as an investment property, rent it out. You know, so we're looking at. And I like to think more of young people than even the older ones, because these days the young people they are actually doing very well when it comes to buying property. Now, we design the type of language that we want to speak to these people. I would not come on camera and start making, you know, statements that are too bogus. You know, using things like, oh, luxury, using things like this. Those things will really just make people call us bluff. You get? But like I said, we reverse engineer, create the ideal avatar for this product, and then make all our marketing materials, from videos to even the choice of song that we get to use in the video editing, to even what I will wear on that day for the video shoot, you know, to appeal to that category of people. And it works every single time. This particular video, I'm telling you, if you are probably, I don't know, check Reverie brokerage, just go through the comments. So you're seeing things like, but don't steal my client though. Anyway, Sha, you can. But you're seeing things like young crypto money. You're seeing things like business professionals, anyway, I pride myself as somebody who build, who my marketing is centered around attracting lots of business professionals. So I like, the finance guys because they're like one of the big HNIs that people don't even talk about. All these young people you see working in bank, maybe not the smaller banks, but like the people who work in bank. So people like that, the entertainment people. I think I had what's this other guy? I can't even remember their name, but it's there. I had these people reaching out, say they want one, and these are people who are, who not that people who really make money from entertainment and stuff like that. But what I'm trying to drive at is, instead of going to, let's just look for, we start by designing what exactly, who do you want to sell for? And then take it off from there. Let that be, the template that you will use to, create whatever marketing materials or, videos, whatever you want to do in your product. And trust me, it would produce result consistently. Are you following? So, I wrote something about identity alignment. Sometimes in this space, people treat it as, like I said, people try to make light of real estate. I put up a statistic earlier on saying this is a sector that is that gave us that's like third, that was third best in terms of Nigeria's GDP. But then sometimes as realtors, we tend to fall into this trap of treating it with levity. You want to maybe shoot the property, you want to, market it, and then, you are not paying attention to your branding as a person. Some people show up, to shoot a property. I don't have any issue with anybody with what you wear, but treating this business better helps you in so many fronts, even with things like demanding your commissions. There are two types. This business has like two sectors. This part where your commission is almost guaranteed, like it's written on paper, and then you have this other side where you negotiate your commission. So even with things like demanding your fees, all of this starts from the first point of interaction, like from the first minute they saw you online. They already know if they will pay you well or you are just one other realtor that they will buy and then they will threaten you with police that, hey, when did we sign that? I will pay you this. Hey, you get. So building a brand that helps attract the right type of people that you are looking to sell to matters a lot. And that's what I tag this identity alignment. People want to buy from people that look like, not look like them, but they want to buy from people that kind of speak their language. Because let me tell you, we are not just real estate sellers. We are advising the rich on how to spend their money. I think that's like the better way to think of yourself as a realtor. You're advising those that are wealthy or rich, let me know he's wealthy, or rich, wealthy, anyone, on how to spend their money. So you should think highly of yourself, and that should be evident in almost every area of your business. You get. So also you have information asymmetry. And I talked about some brands. I really wish I had like a video link to play this video that I'm talking about. When we got to this property, we're like, how can we sell a 2-bedroom apartment to actually make it, worthy enough for people to buy? And then I started looking at the little details that I think would make a difference. You get. So you start having conversations around, why this person used a porcelain tile instead of the white Carrara tile that you see everywhere. Mind you, most people don't even know what a white Carrara tile is, but that's the tile that you have those mark and all those things. You get. Because product knowledge is one thing that's going to set you apart from a lot of people. It might seem, but just these little details would tell who has $1 billion that go for this person. If he advises you, it's coming from a place of knowledge than somebody who is saying, 2 meters to, stone throw from Dangote and stone throw from Elegushi and all those things. You get. So we were marketing from a place of information-based, I had to call developer. My guy was laughing at me when I called developers. What is the size of this door? Like, he was like, why do you want to know the size of it all? Okay, 2.7 by 1.5. Because I could see the door was big. That's the entrance door. And in comparison to some other houses, it's small. But that small detail, set us apart. If you go to the comment section and interactions we've gotten, it is what probably says, I'm not saying, instead of, buying a property with those tiny door, I'm like, let's give it up for developers who build with everybody in mind. So this is a 2.7 by 1.5 meter door, and I said something like that literally says, come as you are. I don't know if you know what that means. Like, now whoever is buying can tell that even details that most people probably would not even, care about is what is probably causing the difference why I'm selling that property and one other person is not selling it. You get? So I want us to move from generating leads. I want us to move from chasing after these people to putting yourself in a position where you're being thought of as a thought leader in that space, or like the authority in that space, that this person has upper information than almost everybody. You will see things like people will say, finally, a thought that isn't about C-space, as you can see, C-space, C-space, C-space. Those things make me laugh. But trust me, when the sales were coming in, I was just telling my guy that, you literally don't know what putting like a small effort, in the way you do your business can actually be what decides who sells and who doesn't sell. So let's continue. So this is just to say that before going to chase after these people, I want us to have a mindset of who are we trying to sell for, and then let that be like a focal point of how we would design, every marketing effort, and even the language, the things we would say, the choice of music, the placement of ad, everything. And trust me, doing it from reverse engineering these things from knowing who you want to sell for helps every single time. So let's go to the next slide. So there are so many ways of generating leads. This is just to put the psychology thing out of the way. We know the social media, the digital platforms. For digital platforms, I like to tell you it's like the best, because no other platform gives you that opportunity to meet millions of strangers at once, every single time. So I tell realtors, if you're starting, because of you have little following and you are competing with people with hundreds of thousands of followers, while you're trying to build your page or build your social media platforms, you can leverage on your current sphere of influence. That's family, friends, and then once you exhaust that, you then, by the time you're exhausting that, you're already getting follows and, comment, engagement from family, friends, even people who will come and say, you don't start real estate now, you don't leave this on, let them come. They are helping you build engagement to the point where you can now come out of obscurity for total strangers. Because when somebody who doesn't know you probably sees your page or your social media handle for the first time, and he sees, let's say, 100 or 200 followers, he's not going to trust you. I just want you to know. It's just a thing. Not they don't think that you can't do it. They just think that you don't have enough experience to be able to advise them rightly. You get? So when you're starting out, start with your current sphere of influence on social media. And I tell people, you don't have to be everywhere. Pick 2 social media platforms. Because in trying to be everywhere, you lose sight of metrics, or you lose sight of the things that really matter. You can't, how do you say it? Master of none, I'll be something like that. Good. Jack of all trade. So pick 2 platforms that works. These days, some people say TikTok is like the easiest to grow on. Some people say they close deals on there, but I don't think it's as much as what you have on Instagram and YouTube. And the reason is, yes, you can grow pretty well on TikTok, but I think the type of people that personally, I don't have TikTok accounts. I think I might get addicted, because the way the algorithm is there, they will just start giving you videos that will just keep, bombarding you that you cannot leave. So, but I think most people would rather use Instagram or YouTube. YouTube actually works very well for the people who live abroad, because that's like, most times, that's like their eyes into what's happening in Nigeria, So Pick 2 platforms and then just go big on them. I did 2 platforms many years, but then I decided Instagram was it, and then I stopped my YouTube. It's growing there, and I still even get leads come from them, because when I was starting out, there was something I did. Remember when I started the first slide, I talked about this being a low barrier entry, trade. Everybody can come in. I want you to know that every year, when university drops people, a huge chunk of them look for a job they can't find, and then they come to real estate. So when you're starting out, you want to ask yourself, and this is for those that are asking, how can you set yourself apart? Because trust me, the decision in Nigeria, there's no exclusivity, that's the word. Anybody can walk up to any property and sell it. And this goes contrast to what happens abroad. Abroad, you sign up your sellers, and then they give you 3 months contract. If you cannot sell, then they take you from you after 3 months, give it to somebody else. But here, you can walk up into any property and sell. So knowing that, and then knowing that almost every year you're having thousands of people coming into the space. Now, on these platforms, the decision on who to buy from, because we're all selling the same thing, sometimes trickles down to the most mundane things. Things like, I like the way that guy speaks. I've sold house with I like the way that guy speaks. So many. I like the way that guy dresses. I like the car that person drives. Very mundane things. Remember when I said people buy from people that, that are a reflection of, them, something like that. You get? I'm not saying people buy from people who have money or something, but it might be the most flimsy thing. I like the way that guy speaks. I like the way the person dresses. I like the way this person walks. I like the way this person talks. Even I like the way this person dances. I've seen that one before. You know those realtors that we get on the video and then serious dance from the gates to the whole house, they are dancing. Some people buy because of things like that. So when you're coming into the space, your biggest advantage would be your individuality. I want you to look for what you think is unique about you. Me, I know my own. Look for what you think sets you apart from the pack, sets you apart from everybody, because that is the only thing that would help you thrive on social media. So apart from, posting many times, knowing how to, we'll come to all those ones, knowing how to, tailor your content, tailor your content to allow the algorithm, push it further, all of those things. The easiest way to grow on social media is selling your individuality. What makes you you? That's just it. Don't try to be like any other person. Trust me, you will build your tribe. You will build your crowd. There are people who say, he speaks too much English. All these ones, when they speak too much, they go beat me too much, and they don't want to buy from me. But I have people who, because of the English, that is the reason why they want to come buy from me. So if anything that is peculiar to you, leverage on it. You'll be surprised the amount of people that would love you for that exact thing that you do. Because the truth is, we sell the same thing. It just boils down to a decision of who should I buy from. Should I buy from this person? And these days, the prices are the same, except you are one of those people that they will say property is 10 naira, you will mark it up. The prices are the same, you get. So, sorry, can I get my slide? Okay. Now, I talked about using Instagram. Then for YouTube, why I actually stopped YouTube was, so I had to shoot like for one product, I'm shooting 2 types of content, because I didn't used to like the cropped version of the landscape. This is landscape, right? I don't like the cropped version of landscape video. I like full 4K, so that when it comes like that, it's clearer on Instagram. So, but yeah, it's just find your tribe. There are people who are killing it on both platforms. If you have the team or the structure to pull that off, go for it. So you also have ads, you get. But before we get to ads, I want to say something about the technicalities of, doing pretty well on social media. And this time it's not individuality. Let's go to like the platforms themselves and then just talk about 1 or 2 things that can help you get better on this platform. And I'm going to start with Instagram. So I tell people Instagram has an attention span that is almost non-existent. Most people just sit down. You know when they stop? Maybe when they see Sabinus, hey, they will stop. If they see your real estate, hello guys, my name is. You get? So our competition is not even amongst ourselves, we that are selling the same thing. Most times when it's on social media, it is between us and the guys in the entertainment industry. You know, Nigeria is a little difficult, so people want an escape. So you see social media, you see entertainment, that is where, so you now want to create your content. How can you tailor your content to be able to survive on these platforms and do pretty well? So the first strategy that I think that works is, because of that attention deficiency that you have only 4 seconds. That's what I found out. You have only 4 seconds to have people watch your video or swipe it off. That 4 seconds should not be used to do, hello guys, my name is, or, who I've seen this, so I like this, my favorite one that I like, the one where, start. Then somebody will say, you're not seeing the person that is saying start, but they forgot to cut it off. So that start has taken maybe 2 seconds. They say, oh yeah, start. Hello guys. They'll swipe it off. You get it? So you have just 4 seconds. And that 4 seconds, you want to make it very attention grabbing. I tell my guys there are 2 ways. It's either from your, whether it's a property tour, whether you're going to a land or anything, the best part of your video should be in the 4 seconds. So even if it's just like a jump cut of 1, 2, 3, just shows it like, you know, just the best part. Or even if it's just one thing, maybe the finest part, maybe the kitchen or something is so nice, let that be the best. Or maybe it's a statement. You know, maybe you say like an audacious statement that will cause people to say, who does he think he is? It causes curiosity. So take, for example, you're saying, this is the best house that has ever been built in Ikoyi. People will ask you, they will want to know what it is. It sparks curiosity, you know. So you're either using video effects, or you're using, you know, bold statement, but your first 3-4 seconds, you shouldn't waste it, because that might be what makes or break your video. And sometimes, another thing that I know that works, drone shot works. A very good aerial view of whatever you're trying to shoot, because it's not a view that people get to see every day. Most realtors take phones with their pictures, pictures with their phones, just standing in front of the house. So a nice drone shot also helps you traction well. But if you can get people to go past the first 3-4 seconds, your watch time increases. Now, let me tell you what that does to you. When your watch time increases, the algorithm tells itself that people like this video. You know what? When you upload to Instagram, do you know that less than 10% of your followers see your post for, no, I think the first one is, less than 5 or so see your post for the first 1 hour. Do you know that? Then they use the metric of how those people interacted with your post to now decide if they should show it to another 20%. Then they now use the metric of how those people interacted with your post to decide whether they want to show it to more people. And then it gets to a point where if it's tractioning, they take it out from your followers, put it on the explore page for non-followers to start engaging with that post. So the algorithm has been designed in a way to reward good quality posts. So you'll be doing yourself a disservice if the first 3-4 seconds of your video is trash. Have you seen this thing where, let me one example that will drive this home. Have you seen this? I hope you can hear me, because I think I was having. Have you seen this thing where people want to post maybe an interview or something, and then they go to, yes, let me use one that we all know, Honest Bunch. You used to watch that, Nedu and his people, they will say this one, all those controversial things. When they want to advertise those things, they take the most controversial part. They will say, all boys are mad. They'll put it there. Then before they now start showing like detailed, conversations about, then you then end up seeing that same thing that was said, like where the excerpt from, you then get to see it somewhere in the middle of the video, because they understand what the first 4 seconds of your content on social media does to whether or not your video tractions. Are you following? Okay, so you've gotten that part right. Your video is doing very well. Sometimes your first 5 seconds good, but you then lose it in the middle where you can't carry people along. So some things that I've experienced that causes things like this to happen, it might be bad audio quality. Everybody here should invest in a mic. Get one. I think there are cheaper ones for like 30K or something, or 40K or so, I don't know. If you want to get the high-end ones, there's like a Rode mic, there's DJI mic 1, mic 2, and stuff like that. But you should get a mic, because no matter how fine or pretty a video look, if the audio quality is bad, the swiping is going to be insane. Or you also get a good mic, but you don't understand picking. Do you know what picking is? When you're hearing the sound and it's like it's grainy in your ear. You get your gains are so high, like maybe the person is shouting, but you didn't like set your mic to like a good, I think decibels they call it or something. You get. So your audio quality sometimes might be the reason why, even though they went through the first 5 seconds, they're knocking it off. And then 2, it might also be a lot of people on social media do well with videos that gives them the caption to read. I don't know if you've noticed. So it's a thing where everybody has figured out that, even though you can hear you, some people just like it. Most people just like it when they can actually read what you are saying. You get. So put up a caption to them, and then the video style, you just an intro, the body, and then a CTA, a call to action. You get. Don't leave open-ended videos. Let it be a call to action. It's either, to know more about this property, give us a call, or to, send us an email or something. Let it be because those are the things that sometimes would trigger people to actually take the next step. You don't want to have videos and then all your comment section is just, how can I reach you? How can I reach you? Or even though, why you just send a DM? But yeah, that's Nigeria for you. Most people start sending you, how can I reach you? How can I reach you? Just send a DM. You are already on the platform already. But I don't know if you're following. Yeah. So that's that for like helping our social media, gain traction with us being on the good books of the algorithm itself. Now, I've also found that the algorithm rewards people who post consistently. So I also fall short of this. So I started the development, and it stresses me out that I almost cannot go to shoot videos every day. So, but if you can, it is one way to grow your accounts pretty fast. It is one way to tell the algorithm that you know what you're doing, and then they will start recommending you to people beyond your followers. Try to post every day. If it's possible, you can post multiple times in a day. It rewards. I saw an interview recently. I think it was Mr. Beast, the Mr. Beast guy, not Mr. Big, so Beast, interviewing some Indian creators. And do you know how many times these people post a day? They post 100 times a day. So Mr. Beast asked them, who told you that this would help, like your traction on social media? They said, Facebook did not give a cap on how many times you should post a day, but they found out that posting a day helps them. Do you know they get about, I think 10 point something billion impressions every month. Do you know what's 10 point something? They have 30 million or so followers on Instagram. So posting every day matters, and I know posting every day it's not easy for realtors, but you can actually draw up a system around it. So let's say you pick, I expect you to work every day because you only make the most from real estate when you don't treat it as a side hustle. Don't be part of those people who treat real estate as a side hustle. Most times after a year, they knock it off. So, but I expect you to work every day. Maybe you can have your weekends, but yeah, work every day. But then posting every day for some people might be a lot because sometimes you need to edit these videos, you need to edit your pictures and all those things. But if you drop a system around it where you can say, okay, I use 2 days to go to some of these properties, and then I use maybe another 1 day to create lots of content. Even these days you can schedule. I think you can schedule on these platforms. So you just have things that every morning or every day, you have something to post. You have something to post. You get. So yeah, let's go from that. Yeah, before I was going to talk about Facebook ad, but then I remembered something. These things that I just told you now, there's no point trying to run ads on your content if your videos does not have a 3 minutes worthy watch time, because you will end up just wasting money. So what the algorithm does is, if your video tractions well, like people are watching this thing, and you try to run ad on that particular thing, they charge you very, very little to show people this property. So you're spending very minuscule sum to actually have this thing flying. But when they know that people don't even like what you're running ad for, bro, you can be paying up to 1,000 naira for one impression. They don't care, because it's like you're wasting their ad space. People are not vibing with this thing. That's why your CPM, your cost per, is it CPI or something, cost per impression or something, would increase drastically. So before you run ads on any of your videos, the first metric is let it thrive organically for at least 3 hours. That's the way I do it. 3 hours. In 3 hours, I can get up to, let's say 200, 300 likes, and I'm seeing comments up to 20. I know that, and I love it when they fight on my comment section. Yeah, I love it. I love it when someone comes and says, this house is expensive. You're mad. Let's do it, because to the algorithm, it's not reading to know. It's reading, though, because if you insult someone, they will delete it. But it helps, interaction in and, having you, do well, so that by the time you want to run ads on these things, you won't have to spend too much. The small 5,000 per day, 10,000 per day that you put would actually go a long way to do something for you. You get? Then I just had to put this there. SEO optimized website. With the failure of so many real estate platforms, web-based platforms, from Zama, OLX, all those, Nigerians don't do. It's everywhere. It's not even just Nigeria. It's everywhere. People don't buy real estate from just the websites. Let me put it like that. And yeah, you might say, oh, there's Nigeria Property Center. Those people spend a shitload of money on ads. I don't know if that's, take that word back, but those people spend a lot of money on ads, on Google ads to actually thrive. You get? But when it comes to just having website as your means of selling, most companies who have tried to do that organically have ended up packing up. And it's not just here, it's everywhere in the world, I think I saw recently, I don't know if it was like an arm of Zillow that they tried, or something that just packed up or something. I can't remember the details of that. You get? So with real estate, people like to buy from people. And that's what it is everywhere. So you don't really need to pay attention to, but just have a website. It helps with your branding. It helps with saying this person is not going to be here today and run tomorrow. This person is doing this for the long term. You get? Then there's email marketing. I'm also one of the people who think Nigerians don't read emails. They don't read emails. You can put out lots of email, and you're looking at your back end, what is coming in. It's like maybe the amount of people that are opening it, you've sent out maybe 200. Amount of people that are opening it is like maybe 2 or 3. Many people don't even check their emails day in, day out. Sometimes the only reason to check email for some people is to go and check if they're not using SMS for their credit alert or something, then they will go and confirm it from their email. You get? So that's that about social media. But it can go deeper, but I'll try to keep it in terms of social media strategies and all of that. If we want to delve into that, we can do that for a year. We can do that for weeks and not go out of this place. You get? But that's that about social media. I have another way that I generate lead, and this is collaborations. And do you know my favorite one there? I wrote a couple of them. Sorry? No. The previous one, I'm not done. I wrote a couple of them, but do you know my favorite one when in terms of these collaborations? Can anybody guess? If you've collabed with anybody before, like let me just get like a feel from every other people who are like, which part of what complementary business that has to do with real estate have you gotten, traction from? Like okay, you want to say something? Okay, not you. You want to say something? All right. Come again? Referrals. Oh, okay. I was talking about for the collaborations. I said partner with lifestyle influence, interior designer, mortgage, advisors, developers. So I was asking, what complementary, business or any of these guys that you think you've interacted with? Referral is vague. I want like a very specific. Okay, let me hear. Interior designers. Okay, that's amazing. That's amazing. The interior designers that come to me, I'm the one that used to give them people. They don't used to give me people. So, but developers have actually been like one of the best people to get leads from. Let me tell you how it works. Like my biggest clients today, the most, like people who have given me the most numbers came from developers. So, developers, they are rich, let's put it like that. They have money. And then sometimes they are building in a particular area, they're building apartments, they're building in, sometimes it's location, sometimes it's the type of house. But then they have friends, they have families who want to buy from them and say, I want to buy a house, but I don't want to buy a 2-bed. I want a family house, I want a 5-bedroom. See, developers will just call you. I don't have, but I have my family member that wants to buy a house. Sweet deal. Like, you don't need to stress yourself. Like, I've gotten those type of referrals. So I try to go close to them. You get? Because they cannot bring the house from anywhere. Some of them, yes, if they have a developer close by that has this property, they might give it to them. But I know some that will not even stress, that will just call me and say, or call realtors and say, oh, somebody needs something. So you should go closer to these people. And like my Oga said, let's also work with interior designers. Though, for me, they just ask me I just give them clients, they don't give me clients, but I'm sure there are people that get referrals from these people. So even bankers, even, though anyway I see mortgage dealings, I try not to put myself in it because it's very stressful. Most times it doesn't work out. I don't know why it doesn't work out. So, but bankers, finance guys, even content creators. I've seen realtors partner with like big content creators and have them. What's that thing where you can have 2 accounts on one post? Like, is it collaboration? I think it's called collaboration on Instagram. Yeah. So you're leveraging from the millions of followers from a celebrities, from an influencer or a celebrity's page, and then it's also helping you traction. So you can also do that. Then you have the offline and the traditional method, and the best for me here is referrals. So let me tell you something. Every time you close a deal, this is what I tell my people. Anytime you close a deal, you have an opportunity to close 3 more deals from just that one deal. So if you've been one of these people who you just want to make the money and disappear, you are leaving way more than that on the table. So referral business, in fact, let me even tell you, if you go online today, for people who post, sold, and all those things, I can bet you that 80% of the time, you will see, how they used to write it. Thank you, Mr. K, for coming back for another one. Thank you, Mr. M, for the referral. Some of them are lying, Shabo. Thank you, Mr. This one. Referral is one way of, because let me tell you what happens. When somebody does business with you once, they've trusted you. Mind you, I started by saying we have like huge trust deficit in this space. It is way easier for them to continue dealing with you than trying to go look for somebody else. Even if they see something, mind the type of people I deal with, even if they see something that I probably don't even have on my page, they will bring it there and then ask me, I want to buy this thing. Can you help me go check out where it is or what it is or something? You get, because of that trust deficit. Now, mind you, it is not about who is posting it. It's not about, oh, you have this house, I don't have this house. It is about that trust thing. So if you've closed one person once, you have an opportunity to close their friends, to close that same person, them coming back again, because, bro, who probably buys a property for 200 million, it's not going to go broke forever. It's going to make another 200 million. It's going to come back again. So you have an opportunity of reselling to that people. You have an opportunity of, what's it called? Selling to their family members and all of that. And at this point, you don't have to speak too much English. The negotiation would not take too long because all you hear is, oh, the so-and-so said I should deal with you. So-and-so said I should, I can buy from you. You don't have to speak. Sometimes you are even trying. I've been in situations where you're saying, okay, sir, we'll send the document. They will say, relax. I know already. They said I should deal with you, that, you would do what. So don't look down on your referrals. And for referrals, there are strategies that you can use to actually make the most of it. I was telling somebody recently, this was in 2022. There was a client I sold a property to in Osapa, and I learnt this from these guys, the Ottoman brothers, the guys who own like the Selling Sunset thing on Netflix. So there was a video I saw where the guy was saying, to their clients, they are everything. They are not just realtors. Said to their clients, they are plumbers, they are mechanics. You can call me, ask me anything. Not that they will do it themselves, but they will get somebody to do it. You want to buy you're looking for where to take your children, call us, we would help you. So I try to position myself to my clients beyond just helping them get a house, So this was in 2023. We had just closed a deal in Osapa. And then the next thing, I was there. I was helping them, like, set up, not actively, but, oh, you need somebody to, I would send. I have all the contact. You need this one, I would send. Sometimes I would say, oh, don't worry, because he's like a finance guy, 9 to 5. I say, oh, don't worry. Let me go do the inspection myself to check that they are doing what you're asked to and all of that. Once the house was fully set up, like a month after it was their child's 1-year birthday, they sent me an invite. And then I remember one of my, real estate mentors, the guys that own Northcote? Yeah, Northcote. Mr. Odunsi or something like that. He talked about when you want to buy gifts for your real estate client, sometimes size matters than what you're buying. Or the cost, rather. Size matters than the cost sometimes. It's like, what can I get for this child that will be so big? So I got online. I saw one very big, humongous, like a life-size toy car, but very huge and stuff. I was like, okay, no problem. I'll pay for this thing. I bought it, took it to the venue. It was a very big birthday. It had celebrities and all of that. When I brought it there, the man was like, who say me you buy? Who say me you buy? The next thing, he was like, oh, thank you. But that's the man. The target is the woman. Then the next day, the woman called. Mind you, during the transaction, I never spoke to her. You know how men would want to be the front, but the woman has like huge, like they make huge decisions, especially with kitchens and house type. If the woman says yes, that's when the husband will pay for it. You get. So, but she didn't involve herself that much. Then the next day she called me. She was like, Anthony, do you know your gift is the biggest gift that we got? In monetary terms, because I saw like very, like, quote unquote, rich people at the party. I'm sure some people got maybe a perfume that might cost more than that or something else. Well, if you see the way the carton of this thing was big, God, I was happy. So she was like, thank you very much. Exactly 1 week after, the man called me again. Tony, where are you? I said, I'm so place. Can you come back? Can you come to my house? The same house I had sold for them. Said, I have so money, and I just want to do something somewhere. Advice. This time around now, it's not, I see one property on your page, and give me details. It's just advice. How should I invest this money? See, at that point, you cross your leg. You are in charge. You decide. You know what? Let me tell you what I do. So I look for the properties. Let's say I have like a list of like 3 properties and stuff. Because I'm in charge, I call the shots now. I can then go and say, oh, developer, okay, what do I stand to gain? You're not saying, what do I stand to gain? So it's a mix of I get to the right property, and I also, because I'm in a position where I can now decide what the person wants, I also take care of myself too. But mind you, getting them a good property matters first. Because if you get them a bad property, all those relationships will just end there after they buy that property. You get. So you want to be intentional about your referrals, because even after that particular property, mind you, this person works in a top finance house in VI. It was time for documentation. Oh, sir, say, okay, go and pick it up and bring it to my office. About 8th floor, it was like the top, it was like, I think a 9-story floor building in VI. It was on the 8th floor, the floor before where you have like their main boss and stuff like that. You get, and I went there, and you're meeting people, and then he's saying, that's my guy, that's my guy, buy house from him. Oh yeah, buy, it's easier. Those are the kind of things that you want, And then you're just there, hello, sir. They'll say, what kind of things do you have? They'll say, oh, they'll show you, and it's easier. You don't have to speak too much. Since one person has given them the go-ahead, has even opened up the office space for you to come to a place where, outsiders will not be allowed to. They just say, this person must trust you to the point where, it was the child's 2-year birthday, I think in 2024. And then the second year birthday, and then they sent another invite. This time around, it was a house party, but it was for a select few. Now, it was his bosses accompanying his colleagues at work and stuff like that. I was the only realtor. I was the only, maybe, outlier. That's the word there, But just being in that space, I'm making connections. I even saw a colleague that I didn't even know that they had come to see a property with me. They're like, this guy, but it's easier. You're not in a space where you don't need to speak too much, but you're getting referrals, you're getting deals, you're getting, and mind you, those type of people, they will not fight you for your commission. They will not say, oh, we'll not pay you or something like that, because they are believing, this guy that he probably knows how he handles deals, has trusted this person. They want to work with you and then pay you what they think, what's your, worth, or what's your fair rate. You get. So be very intentional about referrals. Sometimes you can ask, because you cannot ask somebody you didn't treat right. So treat your client right beyond just selling. Be there for them. You get. Sometimes they buy some of these houses. Remember when I started, I said, I don't like that real estate has a low barrier to entry. Some developers build nonsense. So they buy some of these houses and things are happening. Some realtors disappear. But if you're there, trying to help them sort out things, nobody's asking, they don't even want you to use your money. But me, sometimes I use my money in things I don't care, because I know it's going to pay forward one way or the other, Like, it has gone into points where, like, this same guy, we've done up to 4 houses, 4 properties. The last one is a land, being like the most expensive, like a land of like 490 million naira. You get. So we've done all these things. That's gotten to the point where even when he's not in the country, like, he can send me to a property of his that I didn't know when he furnished it or anything, to say, oh, please, go help me check this. Go help me check this and stuff. Oh, like the last one was they arrested a security guard at one of the property. Oh, go help me buy padlock, do this. I bought the padlock with my money. I didn't bother to ask all of that, but I just know that I have this person's trust 100%. Let me even tell you what he went forward to do. He was like, he wants to exit the finance world, and he's thinking of real estate as something he would like to go into. He registered his real estate company with my name, his wife's name, and his name. I got the smallest share, of course. It's not my money. But that level of trust, I don't know if you can imagine it. Like, I got the smallest share, but just me being there, I don't need to do, nobody's asking me to bring money, nobody's asking me to do anything. But just when it comes to advice and things like that, they want me to, have something that will make me more involved than, just word of mouth and stuff like that. So please treat your clients right, take good care of them, and trust me, they take care of you with referrals. So I also talked about, thank you very much. I also talked about, attending networking events. See, even at the gym, I've closed deals from the gym too. You get go to the gym. In short, every realtor should go to the work out. To I've seen one of my oga that we go to the gym together here. Go to the gym. It works. See, I feel there's a level of love for self that takes people to the gym. So people who want the best or who just like their life to an extent try to work out. So being in that space, you never can tell the type of people you get to meet. You get so the client you're looking for probably might just be somebody saying, "Oh, what do you do?" and stuff like that. So not just gym, put yourself in social environment that you can also generate leads from. Then I talked about. I mean, when I started, I used to share flyers, but I don't share flyers again. Please don't share flyers, or they will throw that flyer away. But I actually closed the deal from sharing flyers. I did it once, ShopRite, Reverie Mall, and just that once. The first person I met, "Hello, sir," just looked at me. I told my friend, may so rest in peace now. I told my friend, "Nah, I'm not doing this shit." And it was like, "Let's just try again. We're just starting out. Let's just try again." And then the next person we spoke to, she was more receptive. We spoke to her. She didn't buy. But after about like 2-3 months, she called and said she had somebody that wanted to buy, And the person came and bought something big from us. You get so, though I don't think anybody should do flyers again. They would insult you. Even they would insult you. Just leave them. Then print advert. So I used to take out pages in highbrow living. Yeah, so I do that, but it works. Like sometimes it has to be very like expensive property, like quality property to an extent. You cannot be posting maybe just one semi-detached in a quarter and stuff like that. You get, and sometimes these listings don't come finished because for you to post it on, for them to print it on highbrow living, it has to be finished and look good. Like except you are marketing a 3D, but if it's the picture of the house, it has to look good. So you most likely will not see, not every time you have very fine looking finished house in these areas, Ikoyi and Co, just waiting for you. So that was one of the reasons why I stopped that. But that's like an opportunity you can try because people actually pick up magazines like that. Highbrow living is recommended. So let's continue. I hope we've gotten some idea on how and where to generate leads. So it's a culmination of so many things. You get it's not just go here. It's everything. It's from the way you position yourself. It's from the brand language that you put out. It's from the type of content you put out. It's from the quality of your message. Just everything. It's just a culmination of so many things. Your social media platforms and how you use them well. All of these things come together to help you in generating leads. So let's go to the next one, which is the follow-up. So you've done all of this. You've gotten people asking, oh, they want to buy and stuff like that. Some people lose their prospective clients in this particular stage. They get someone asking, but they just cannot navigate, the intricacies of, follow-up to the point where it gets to a close. You get, because it said that it takes about 5 interactions from the first hello before a close happens. Mind you, they are hot leads. I try to chase hot leads. Those ones that they see it today, they want to buy it before the next 2 hours. I try to look for those ones, but you don't get them every time. You get, so have a balance. While you're chasing hot leads, you also want to chase the cold ones. And for the cold ones, you need a very good follow-up strategy to be able to convert those people from first high to a successful close. So one thing I see people do, talking about the first thing there, sending broadcast messages to so many people. I think it's disrespectful. Like, I wake up and I know that this message was not tailored to me. I'm not going to pay attention to it. I'm not going to give it a second thought. But do you know that a message that just simply says, hello, Mr. So-so-so, good morning, just checking in to know how you're doing. Also wanted to bring up, if you're still interested in the property, so there's been a so-so-so-so. People like it when they are being sent personalized message. So in your follow-up game, make it a thing where you have a list. You know, I do it in a way where people have sold for already, so already successful transactions. I put them on one side. People who I'm looking to sell for, I put them on another one. Even on those people who I'm looking to sell to, rather, I separate them. The ones that I know that are very serious, maybe the money is there, but then there are one or two things that are trying to make a decision on. Maybe wife is not here or something like that. I put them on one side, and then the ones that are cold, they probably reached out once, and then they said, yeah, maybe I'm not ready. I put them on another part, and then I treat every single one of them differently, because I've been in a situation where somebody reached out to me. This was, I think, 2023 or so, reached out to me randomly. The page was on private. I followed, he did not accept, but I could see the profile picture, the profile picture looked like he was somewhere, like on a beach somewhere on the island, but he didn't follow. So he said, he wants to see a property in Lekki Phase 1, but he wants it on a video call. Mind you, I can't qualify this person, but I could tell from one of the two things he's saying that it takes somebody who is okay to say, I want to see a video call of this. I want to do a video inspection of this property, So I went to the property, I called him on video. I saw him that was the first time, he was wearing a suit and tie, seated in a poly-lit room. It looks like maybe a banking setting, but banks used to have lights, but the lighting wasn't so great. So I just assumed maybe he's like trying to run away from work to do this. So he got on the phone, hey, how you doing? And then we got on the video call. We did that, finish, and then he said, can you please go to Evercare? That's what it's called, right? Evercare Hospital. And then drive from Evercare, I'll be on the video to the house. In my head, I'm like, this person wants to know the location and go behind my back. I was like, sir, I will send you a video. He said, no, I want you to go to Evercare and then drive from Evercare. It wasn't too far from there. Drive from Evercare to the house. He said that's the only place that I know very well. So I want to know the distance from that place to Evercare. So I was like, you can't hold a client that wants to go rogue. That's the truth. So I don't have anything to lose. If I show him and he goes behind, there's almost nothing that I can do. You get? But I would just assume that this person will come through. So I got in my car, did that video for him, and then he said, okay, thank you very much, I'll get back to you. He disappeared for like maybe 4 months. In my head, I'm like, that person probably went back, bought that property. But there was no connection. Because that's another thing you can use to safeguard yourself. Because there are rogue clients too, who don't want to pay you what is yours. They would, what you do is try to create a connection between them and the developer. So let the developer know that you brought this person. Even if it means on the day they're coming for inspection, when they sit and they are trying to rush off and they are saying, hey, don't worry, because it has happened to me before where you take someone there, though I try to make sure nobody tries that again now. But it happened to me one time. Took someone there, we don't like it. But I was running an ad. I had too many people to take there. Went there the next morning, saw this man and his wife. Guess what? They saw me and then immediately they ran off, like got in their car. Because I didn't want to corrupt the new people I brought. I took them upstairs, so ran down to come meet the developer. They had gone. And I was like, God just saved this person that I didn't see him here. But then try to create a connection, even if it's a call. While they are there, call the man, call the owner of the property or the woman and say, oh, sorry, I'm here with your client, with a client for your property or something, blah, blah, blah. Let him establish that there was some kind of, even if he doesn't know the person's name, for any reason the person goes back, you can have something to say. That day I called you on your property. This was the person that was here. It just happened to the best of us. Don't worry. People have sold properties for 750 million. I did not give them 5 naira. I've seen it before. That the lady denied on the spot that it was even Ramos it happened to before he left. Took a client to an inspection. This was when detached houses were for 250 million in Lekki. A woman, she bought all 3, 750 million. The next day, so I think it was on the inspection day, she went, they saw everything. Then on the day of the closing, they fixed the meeting for 10 a.m. 10 a.m., he got there like maybe 9:30. Nobody was there. So he said, okay, let me quickly dash somewhere to buy something. I'll come back at exactly 10. So he came back at exactly, let's say, 10:15. I don't know what happened. But asked the security. Security said at exactly 10, the woman came, the owner of the property was there, and then they've left. Then he started calling the developer. Where are you? Where are you? Got to the developer. I think she was about to pay, and she has paid or something. The woman said, that she saw the property herself. Mind you, they did this inspection like maybe a day before. But she saw the property herself. And this was a company that doesn't actually pay commission. That's from the developer. After much back and forth, they ended up giving him 500K for a 750 million naira property. So you want to protect yourself. You get me, I would arrest you. I'm not even going to use. So I've had, in doing this business, that's one thing real estate does to you. It exposes you to people. You will meet people that you don't even expect you can meet. Bro, I would take it up to the top of police. It happened to me last year. Somebody up there in police bought a property from me. And I was thinking, how am I going to... This person bought a property and just went silent. I can see the house. You've moved in. You pay me my money. He just stopped picking up and everything. I just said, you know what, let me call this person. I told him, I was like, do you have any evidence? And I said, thank God I had it as a WhatsApp conversation. That's another thing you can use to protect yourself. So talking about your fees, you can have them as WhatsApp conversation. I had it as a WhatsApp, conversation. And then he said, hey, Tony, I cannot do 5%, but I will do 3%. That was all I needed. The man said, you have that? Oh, yeah, come. Come to, what's that place? Somewhere in Yaba, something, I don't know. Area C, that's what they call it. I went there. How police, they know how to pancake this thing. They gave me one new letter-headed paper that my office is just next to because there's jurisdiction issue. They cannot come from Area C or so to come and handle island issue. So they gave me one letter-headed paper that my office is next to their police station. Blah, blah. So that day, I mobilized them. We went to the house. I sold the house, so I know everything. We got there. They knocked. And then it was for them to issue him a letter to come to. And the man was shaking. And I'm like, you don't have the mind to do this thing, so why would you go ahead to then do it in the first place? Do you know what the police told me as I got into the car? They said, this person will pay you your money before 12 midnight, but please don't collect it so that he will come so that they can collect theirs. I can tell you at exactly 12:05, this man called me. Tony, I'm sorry for... I want to do... I collected my money. The next day, then they went... they started calling us to come. So I told them I've collected the money. Then they were like, why would you take the money? Blah, blah, blah. This one now. And that's... you can't be giving me my money and I'll be telling you for police to... So then I had to call the boss, and then he said, oh, no problem. So I just did some 1 or 2, because it was a lot of money. I did some small settlements, but the fact is I got my money. So keep evidences, because people sometimes would want to, well, the bulk of they are good ones too. Let's not say everybody's bad. There are very good ones who are happy to actually pay you your fee. Work with those people and you're good. So I was talking about, sending tailored messages to people, So don't be one of those people who send very generic message, oh, new property in this one. Talk like you care. Talk like, how's madam? One thing that works a lot? If you have an interaction with a client and you notice something about them, maybe on the day of your meeting or something, you notice there was a child that, maybe was crying about a particular thing or liked one thing, you can just ask the next time, oh, how is so and so? Is he, doing fine now with this one? It just takes you from stranger to friend in no time. You following? You get? So that's one. Then also, another way people lose clients is this. I don't know if it happens to you. Let's say on Instagram. Sometimes you get messages, but you don't get a notification for it. Some people lose clients because of things like that. So you want to reduce. If you notice, almost all platforms now put a metric on the estimated response time of that person. It's a metric that actually matters. How quick you respond to people's messages tells whether or not you're serious with your business or not. You get. So sometimes it's hard. Yesterday, before coming here, I finished from site like 11:30 because we had some deliveries. I had to go home, and then I was up to like 2:30. Then I got a call from a client from the US for that same Ikate property that I was making reference to. Then the first thing he went was, why are you all by this time? And he was like, can I call you? And just that call, he had already given me the numbers already. Oh, tell him this, and I want to pay this and stuff. But maybe if I had waited to this morning and responded or something, I'm not saying you should not sleep at night, but it doesn't have to be this is just an example, but don't be that person who takes hours before you respond to people. Always look out. Instagram sometimes don't give notifications, so check. Like, make it like a thing where every 1 hour you check. Look for, check if you have any messages. If you're running an ad especially, check your phones to see if you're on, then respond immediately. It helps you a lot. Some people use automated messages, on, let's say, Instagram and some other platforms. I don't like automated message. I just don't like it I like it when I'm talking to people. So I'd rather wait. Some people do like, so away now, we'll get back to you and stuff. I personally don't like it, and I think there are probably people like me. So, but it's something you can do. Automated message to, have them wait. Then try to check at least every 1 hour and then respond to them. You get. Then you can also use CRM. These days, you don't even need to go for very complex CRM, customer relationship management systems, using all these big softwares. Even things like Instagram is already adding CRM tools like automated messages. They're adding all these things for you. WhatsApp is already adding tools like automated messages. Things that you can. Sometimes somebody says in your message, they say something like, "Oh, can we have a call by 2 p.m. tomorrow?" Have you noticed immediately iPhone highlights the 2 p.m. by tomorrow and asks you if you should save it to is it a notification of the event or something? Do it immediately. What it does is, if somebody says, some people lose deal from things as simple as call me at 3 p.m. tomorrow, and then they don't call at that exact 3 p.m. You get. So CRM 2 is now so democratized that you now have it on almost every platform. Just go on your WhatsApp now and type, "Oh, I'll call you by 2 p.m. tomorrow." Immediately, 2 p.m. tomorrow is highlighted. Tap it. iPhone tells you take it to your calendar or something to save it, so that at that time you get the notification immediately and then you make the call. So these are just things here you can use to help with your, follow-up. And then while you're following up, do it in a way that you don't overwhelm people because you'll be blocked. Every morning, property of the day. Every morning, advert, you're sending something to the person, they will block you, So let's go to the next slide. So I'll just give you like a rundown on, following up with properties and stuff. I'm following up with deals. So first day, somebody reaches out, you can send a quick thank you message. I always say thank you for reaching out. I think it's a privilege to have thousands of people doing the same thing, and then you're deciding to send me a message, even though you can get it from many other thousands of people's page. So I say thank you every time. Then, it depends on how the conversation goes and stuff like that. So if they're asking you to get back, on something, get back, have a conversation. I think you want to take a picture. Have a conversation, with whatever they must have asked for. Then, if for any reason, 2 days, 3 days, the person has, gone silent, sometimes that is where your deal is being, decided or not. Because sometimes the decision to spend this money is a question of either this or that. So it's sometimes, should I buy a property in America or should I send it to Nigeria to buy here? Sometimes it's, should I pay for this car or should I buy a property? So sometimes that quiet phase is them making a decision between either doing this, your going with you to buy a property or just doing something else instead. So you want to reach out again the second, the third day, but then emphasis on don't be overwhelming with it. You get, "Hello, Mr. So, how you doing? Hope you're doing great. Just a quick follow-up. Just wanted to know if you're still interested. I just learned there are only 2 units left or something. Just a few things that you can use to go. You can also try different channels. I have this thing where if somebody gives me their number, not every time, but it kind of tells me that this person is going to be here for the long run. Like, if we go from Instagram to like WhatsApp, it kind of says this person is relatively serious and it's not, then it might not have the money. You get. Did I finish the story of the man that, the Lekki phase 1 man that went for 4 months? He came back after the 4th month. He bought the first property without seeing me, without seeing the property. The next month, he bought another property without seeing me, without seeing the property. I just remembered. The second one, he came with his family from Abuja to come sign. Young guy, CBN, to come sign. And that was the first time he had seen me. So all what we did in the first phase, driving, it might not happen every time, but he used all of that to kind of build trust with me. And he has gone ahead to refer me. Only last year, I got 5 referrals from this person. One person bought 3 property, the next person bought 2. 2 people, but 5 deals from this particular one person. You get his colleagues. So just to put out there, so it doesn't always end bad every time. You get, I drove thinking it was going to go behind me, but apparently I didn't even have, I just did it because there was nothing, you can't hold anybody that wants to run. But he did that because he was not in Lagos. He doesn't live in Lagos. He lives in ABJ, but wants to buy properties here. So when it was time to now buy, he bought the first one. I did not set eyes on him. He did not see me. He just sent money straight to the company. They paid for it, and I rented the apartment immediately. The next month came back. I think he bought for like 3 months consecutively, but then we had issue with the third one. The developer messed up. They did some confusing, So these are just some of the things I was talking about. So yeah, back to following up. Because why I brought that up was I could remember that even in the 4 months of silence, I was always doing, even if it's 2 days or 3 days, hello, sir, trust you good, just checking up on you. Okay, still looking forward to hearing from you. No much message. Once in a while, hello, sir, if I see just to give a different tonality to the language I'm putting out, if I see a different property that looks like something that he asked for, in my head, I'm assuming maybe he didn't like that one because he's not saying anything. I will send it and say, hello, sir, I just saw this property today. Just wondering if you would be interested. Let me know. I will share more information. I'll send it to him. Dead silence. After a while again, hello, sir, I was always there reaching out. 4 months when he was ready, he came back and boom, you get. And sometimes it might even take longer. I think I was listening to Sehant. You hope you all follow Sehant here because that's the biggest brokerage in the world. If you're not following Sehant, who are you learning from? Sehant is Serhant. You should follow him. So I was listening to Sehant one time. He said there was a deal that he did. The person reached out through email. That, I'm interested in so property. The property was posted to YouTube, blah, blah, blah. And then the person communicated for like that full day, back and forth emails, and the person went dead silent. And this was a very expensive property. New York, you know how expensive it gets. The person went dead silent. He said he kept following up. He has a tagline that he will follow up till the person dies. Then when the person dies, he will continue with the family. That's his own tagline. So he said he kept following up. And then after a while, I think it was after like a year, the person reached out randomly and said, sorry, I've just been away, I've just been busy, blah, blah, blah. I've been traveling. Right now, I'm in so country. It was in Europe. I forgot what country that is. And then Sean said, out of nowhere, he just felt the urge to say, I can meet you up at that country if you don't mind. Mind you, this is someone that's in America. And then the man said, can you? All right, come. He said he bought a ticket that day and left, I think, the next day. Got to the said country. I don't know what country that was. Got to the said country and started calling this person. I think it was not even a call. It was still the email. This person did not give a phone number. But he said he had this very strong conviction that this person types like somebody that can actually afford this property. He said he got there trying to reach out to this person. I think they already said they were going to meet somewhere, but he tried. He couldn't get this person. Do you know he left back to New York without seeing this person at all? And it was like, but something kept telling him, just continue following. He was sending the normal email, follow-up emails, things like that, market update and stuff like that. He said it took him about 2 years plus. One day the guy called. This time called and said, I'm in New York, meet me in so place. He said when he got there, he was like, go roll. Because at that point, the property had gone, so they were going to get something else. He said when he got there, he saw heavy security. And then he told him, oh, you're welcome. Get into the car. He met the person. He said the first place they went to was to go buy a helicopter somewhere in that same New York. The person bought he went with him there. He said at that point, he already knew this is a done deal. They bought a helicopter. You can check his page. He has a story on his page. They bought a helicopter, then went back to properties that were available, high-end luxury properties, and this person was buying. He said this person today is probably one of his biggest clients that he has. Just to give you a feel on how follow-up could be, what either gives you clients or not. You get? So even though when they say they don't buy, but also I want you to also recognize time wasters too. There are people who have no business reaching out to you about property. Not to say look down on anybody, but out of, maybe out of being idle or something, to pick up their phone and start texting pages that are running ads. Set your guards down. Once you figure out, have metrics to know this thing. Once you figure out this person is a time waster, just cut them off. You don't even need to do follow-up. But do take your time to look and check, that you're making the... And I might not tell you what it is, how you would know. I think it comes from experience. You do this business to the point when, just from somebody saying hello, you can tell if that person is going to waste your time or that person is serious. You get? So, but look out for time wasters so that you don't spend time, because I've been in that shoes before. I used to run Facebook ad many years ago. It was properties in, Bogija or something. Then you have like a long list of people who, then it was lead generation ad, the one that drops your phone number and stuff. Then you have a long list, say 30 people. Okay, let's start calling that. Somebody must buy. You call the first person, they'll say, me, Mo, like, I made a mistake and, click the thing. God, and then it just demoralizes. You call the next person. So it was actually a thing on Facebook then when they don't need to do too much for the algorithm to capture their details. I think just interacting or something, I don't know how the ad used to be then, it would just capture the person's details and stuff like that. So you want to look out for time wasters so you're not wasting your time following up people. You get? So, and like I said, if it's possible, there should be no cap. If you know somebody's, especially when they even now buy from you, when they've bought from you once, don't have a limit to the follow-up. Follow them for life. Just if you are still in that business, reach out once in a while to check, because the person who has 100 million rand today, one way or the other, we have that money or even more another day. You know what I mean? So, the last one, prioritize hot leads, because to me, that is actually what gives you, that is the easiest one, You don't need to do too much follow-up and stuff like that. I've run an ad in the morning before. I ran that ad by like 7 a.m. And I got a call by 8 o'clock. Scheduled the inspection for 10 o'clock of that day. We saw the property by 10. He didn't like it. Saw another one around 11-ish, still on that same inspection. He saw that one, liked it, paid for it that day. That is hot lead. Some people have it, they're just looking for where to dump the money. So anytime you come across people like that, prioritize them. So we're good? All right, so the next slide. So now, this is the final part, the close. You've done all these things, you've, followed up rightly, and then it's time to close. Some people delay their closing. And one way I see people do that is leaving, okay, let me leave so you can take your shot. I see people do that is leaving open-ended conversations. Do you know sometimes the motivation to go forward, to buy something comes from people need a push. It's a big investment for so many people. Some people, buying a house would be the biggest financial investment they will ever make for some people. So it's a big thing. Sometimes You know, they call it, is it buyer's remorse or something, where when it's time to pay for it, you now start second guessing yourself that, should I do this thing, should I not do this thing? And so some people leave open-ended conversation that delays a close for them. So you take someone to a property, and then the person is saying, the person is probably saying, this is okay, and then you are just there saying, okay, sir, I know you will like it. That is the point where you should be asking, okay, sir, should I proceed with drafting the offer? And then hear what they will say. Because it's either two things. They will either give you an objection or then say, sure, let's do it. That is, you have your close. But if it's an objection, now you now have something to work with. You can now say, okay, this person's pain point. You know, when you say, should we draft up the offer currently? And then they say, no, I think the room is too small. You now know that this person would have closed if the rooms were bigger. Now you have an opportunity to say, sir, can I get you something with a bigger, or I have something with a bigger room. Let's go see that one. Or they say, I don't like this so thing. You have an objection that you can treat and try to solve that person's buying need in that instant. So the first thing with closing is don't leave open-ended conversations. Don't be also pushy too, because there's a thin line between, treating a conversation to where you want it to go and acting all salesy and pushy. The person is telling you, can we see a bigger house or something? And then you are just going, sir, you will like this one. Let's close. Let's do this. Let's do that. Put their concerns first. Like put their whatever pain points that they're trying to express to you. Because if you can solve that, you already have a close, except that person doesn't have that money at that particular time. You get? So, the next slide. Yeah, so see that first line? Sometimes you bait them. You're not doing it in a negative way, but because you don't want to be having a conversation that you know that is not leading to anywhere. Things like you want to know exactly because the truth is, if you can solve anybody's pain point, you already have what you can. That is even the secret to wealth. If you can solve problems, you would make money from it. So you would not know how to close the deal if maybe the person is having a walkthrough, being silent. You are not trying to get the hidden thoughts that is not being vocal out from him. Ask the person, sir, do you like this bathroom? They're not going to hide it. They want to pay for it. They will not hide that disdain. If they like it, yes, I love it. You know that you have that in one corner already. You know, okay, we are almost there. But if you don't ask questions like this, you can actually live there and go and price car, thinking you have a deal that is about to close. Whereas that person is probably talking to somebody else because what he had just, checked out from you, he didn't like it one bit. So have conversations when you're dealing with these people, things like, so when I get on the sales call with somebody, from the beginning, I don't go, even when you say, I want to buy this property, I go a step further by asking you, what is the intended use of this property? Are you using it for like commercial purpose or because I know that sometimes I go to these properties, not sometimes, I go to this property and I know that sometimes the property might look good, but the intended use of the property might be what will make that property not sell. Let me give you an example. Take, for example, a very beautiful apartment. Let me know, okay, shortlets thrive better from Ikate upwards. I'm not going to come too far, but let me come to Ologolo. You know Ologolo? Let me come to Ologolo. It's not too far from Ilason. It's not too far. But do you know that only first-time shortlet investors would buy an apartment in Ologolo that they want to use it for shortlet? Only first-time investors. If it's somebody who has done shortlet business before, he would not even try it because you're just wasting money. You end up selling that house or using it for rent. Now, Beautiful house, very lovely. And then you then go forward to ask, sir, what is the intended use of this property? And then he says short let. Because I know, I have been there before, I know short let will not sell. Even though, yes, the apartment is fine, he's going to have vacant days, like way too much in a year. I know that this can be this might be what would, either lead to a close or him looking for somebody else to get him the deal. Because I know that, because mind you, when it's time to close, I told you something, that's old buyer remorse or something. They start talking to people, they start getting advice, so you might be thinking, oh, but he laughed at me, he liked it, he said he liked it, but he has gone back to ask, and they've told him, oh, that place, you will not get client or something. So when you're in that space and it's time to close, try to make sure everything is at your advantage. Be the person that would say, sir, if it's short let, this is what it is. You might not have up to 50% occupancy. It is good apartment. So, but I just want to, this is the data. If you are okay with 30% in a year, fine. But if you want more, I would advise for a little extra fee, let's go to so and so location. You are setting yourself up for success. I don't know if you feel me. You're already setting yourself up for success. If he decides to buy that property, he's buying it fully informed that, so even if somebody comes behind to tell him, that place shortly not to the move, he knows that this realtor has told him. So even if he wants to change his mind at the end of the day, he's still going to use you because you've offered value. Let me put it like that. You get? So when you're trying to close, set yourself up for success. Personally, there was a time when, let me give you the story. Last year, November, December, they started the Orchard Road construction, and there was heavy traffic, like it was intense. You would be on Orchard Road for like 3 hours, not up to 2 kilometers, or not for up to 2 hours. But there were so many fine houses on Orchard Road at that particular time. This was, I think the road construction is almost getting to the express. This was December, November last year. And I had inspection. And I posted the property there. I tried most time not to even post properties there when things like that are happening. But then on this case, the developer reached out. It was somebody I had sold for before, so I just listed it. And then somebody reached out and said they wanted to buy this property. I know that I will end up wasting my time and not lead us to a close if I take him to that inspection. Because what's going to happen? We'll stay in traffic for 3 hours. Nobody's going to buy a house that are going to spend 3 hours in traffic. Even if that thing is just happening for only that day, that even if they come there the next day, it's clear. That experience of spending 3, it has dented whatever you want to say. You get? So when trying to sell, set yourself up for success. Make sure all the things, even if it's not going to work in your favor, let it be things that are beyond your control. Because yes, there are things that are beyond your control sometimes. Case in study, a rogue client that sees a house and maybe wants to go behind you or do something stupid. You have things like that. Or maybe somebody that doesn't even have the money, or you cannot go and put the money in the person's pocket to buy the property, But for the things that you can control, give it your 100% and you'd always get a successful close. Then, the second one is also, the same with the first one, asking questions like, do you think this particular property meets your needs? Please tell me if I can talk very well, so tell me if my time is up. Okay. So, asking them if it meets their needs gives you, a room to evaluate, to know if you're on the right track or you're just wasting your time, And then sometimes, I like that third one. Sometimes, don't bullshit anybody. Just go straight. Sir, are you buying it? Are you okay? Are we going for this property or not? And let them give you the straight answer. Don't try to, especially when, it's taking too long and stuff. Ask, because some people sometimes think the only way to buy one property is to see 100 properties. You are not, I don't know you are not Saulu that is showing everybody Lagos, because you're wasting your time. You're spending months, years, showing different properties. They are struggling to make a decision. So these are just some of the things that you can actually do, and you're guaranteed of, success at the end of the day. And whenever you close one deal, please know that one deal can give you 3, 4, 5 deals. Milk it. That's the way I like to put it. Give them the relationship. Do it truthfully. Like, don't fake it. Genuinely care. So when you're caring, sometimes things as simple as buying a 20,000 naira cake. Your cake might end up in a trash can, but you've left an impression. You know, though I try not to buy food except we are very close, like food items, you know, but it doesn't have to be big. You don't even have to buy something big, but just your client's birthday, 20,000 naira, 10,000 naira thing. They might not need it, but just that this person remembers, you will be shocked at where the referral will take you. So I hope, wishing everybody success, and I hope this was very informative. Well, thank you.
Please, let's jam our hands together once again for Mr. Anthony. Thank you so much, sir, for that session. I mean, even if you're not in the real estate industry, everything that you've shared today is going to be very helpful and impactful. Once again, please let's put our hands together for him. Are you tired of clapping? We can be.